Say, yesterday we discussed the object repository. Next one, small chapter. After this small chapter, we will discuss descriptive programming. See, types of statements. Types of statements, or you can say steps. Types of statements or steps in UFT test. See, we use different types of steps for creating UFT tests. Not only single type of statements, we use different types of statements or steps. Say, first one. And one more thing, for every test, all types of statements not required. Based on your test requirement, you can use them. I will introduce maximum types of steps or statements in UFT test. First one, declarations. Declaration statements. See, we are using scripting language for our test automation. Generally, two things can be declared in computer programming or scripting. Two things can be declared. What are the two things? One is constants. Constants. Another is variables. Anyhow, constants, variables, we will discuss in VB script chapter. Now just introduction. Constants. See, constants are used to replace literal values, and constants never change, and they never change. Variables. Variable is a memory location for storing or holding the data. Variable value may vary throughout the execution. See, constants and variables both are same in purpose, storing the data, but difference also there. Constants never change, variables value may vary. So I will show an example. Now don't focus on constants and variables, that we will discuss in VB script. Just how to declare. Dim city equal to, city is constant name. You can use any meaningful name. Hyderabad. Next, num equal to, say, by separating with commas, we can declare multiple constants in a statement or step. 100. Remember, in VB script, double quotes for string type data, no double quotes for numbers, and hash quotes for date type data. This is VB script syntax. Suppose city. It will display Hyderabad. Just a minute. What is the problem? Using const statement. Const. We declare constants. Using const statement. See Hyderabad. Next, using dim statement, we declare variables. Dim a comma, here also same, by separating with commas you can declare multiple variables in a statement or step. If you want to take new line, again you need to declare dim statement. See, correct. See, b of 3, c, d of 4 comma 5. See, in this declaration, a is scalar variable for storing one value at a time. B is array variable for storing series of values at a time based on size of the array. VB script arrays having 0 based index. We can store 0 to n values. In this B array, B of 3, 0 to 3, 4 values can be stored. Next, C is dynamic array whose size is undefined, later changes throughout the execution. Next, D is 2D array, two-dimensional array. In 2D array, first value indicates rows, second value indicates columns. See, in this D array, we can store 30 values. 4 means 5 rows, 5 means 6 columns, 0 based index. 5 into 6, 30 cells, 30 values. See, this is one of the type. Declaration statements. Next, utility statements. Utility statements. Example, just a minute. System util dot run. Next, path of the application. Next, if it is web-based application, system util dot run. Next, path of the browser, comma URL. Run the script. See, first one is, just a minute. See, Gmail homepage, Gmail launched and flight reservation application also launched. Next, yesterday we discussed one utility object, that is repositories collection dot add. That is also utility statement. Next, test object. Test object statements, or you can say object calls. See, important category of statements in UFT test. important statements. Test object statements are object calls. Say, this is test object statement. Just a minute. Observe. First statement. Observe, Kanti. How many test objects are there in first statement or step?
One, sir.
One. In second statement?
Test of two.
In third statement?
Three.
Three. See, single test object statement, two test object statement, three test object statement. See, in web-based environment also same. Just a minute. Put mute. Observe. Observe, Aarti. Here three steps are statements. First statement. How many test objects?
Two, because the page and a browser is equal to 1 and a Gmail 3.
Page and browser equal to 1. Who told? Browser is different, page is different. Observe last statement. Only, operation only on browser.
Yeah.
Page and browser not one. See what I told? Most of the time, home page name and browser name same. Remaining pages names different. But page and browser is not same.
Okay, so the first line is three objects.
Two different objects. First line in first. Don't use a line term. Line is different. Step or statement is different. In first statement or step, three test objects. In second step, two test objects. In the last step, one test object. See, these are test object statements are object calls. Object calls. See, declarations, utility statements, test object statements. Next, automation. Automation object statements. These are VB script statements. Say, don't concentrate on this syntax. Set obj FSO equal to create object of class value. Say I'm creating file system object. Don't concentrate on this syntax. Dot file system object. Next, obj FSO dot. Now obj FSO is object. See, before this first statement, obj FSO just a variable. After creating file system object, it is object. Suppose create folder, provide path for storing. Suppose I want to store on desktop. Take the desktop path. Sujata, observe on desktop. Observe on desktop. What happened?
UFT folder is seen, sir.
Created.
Create.
See, these are automation object statements, or you can say VB script statements. Here no UFT reference. Next, one more important type, function calls. Function calls. See, a action calls, function calls, action calls and function calls. Otherwise you can use comma. See, both are same in purpose. Reusability is the purpose. Actions belongs to UFT tool, functions belongs to VB script. See, you can call built-in functions and user-defined functions. I will show one small example. Concentrate. Stop. Just a minute. Tools, options, GUI testing. Don't concentrate on this syntax. Make it as a reusable component. Function name, any meaningful name, login, arguments, agent, password, pass arguments as parameters. Next, make it as external function. See, create a library file. Save as VBS file. Suppose abc.vbs. By associating that library file, we can access external functions. See, don't concentrate on this navigation also. We will discuss later. Next, I want to call that function. Call. Here I am not writing any code. Reusable component available in external library file. I am just calling that code. Call function name, enter values ABCD Mercury. Next, suppose built-in functions. Suppose a equal to now. Now is built-in function. It will return current system date and time. See, first statement accessing user defined function. Last statement built-in function. Run. Okay na Kanti?
Yes, sir.
See, just a minute. You put this one. Just call user defined function. Observe login. Function call. Next, action call. Both are same in purpose, but actions belongs to UFT tool, functions belongs to VB script. You try to use functions only. Next, action call. Just a minute. So I'm taking the new test. Generate login functionality. See, activate the dialog box. Enter agent name. Click OK button. Stop. You rename this action. Not required. Action properties. Suppose this action name is login. See, login. Run it once. Executing. Next, save. This is GUI test 2. Next, new test. For this new test, I want login functionality. Login already available in GUI test 2. Call that one. Design menu. Call to existing action. Browse path of the test. Just a minute. Select action. Okay. Observe. This is action call statement. run action login from GUI test to one iteration. Run executing. This is action call. Next, conditional statements. Conditional statements. See, as like automation object statements, conditional statements also VB script statements. VB script state, just a minute. Conditional statements also VB script statements subcategory. See example, dim A comma B, A equal to 100, B equal to 50. Right condition, if A greater than B, then MSG box A is a big number, else B is a big number. Run. See, A is a big number. Suppose B 500. B is a big number. Next, loop statements. Loop statements also VB script statements. One subcategory. Just a minute. Open order functionality. Open order. Record. Activate the window. Click open order button. Check order number checkbox. Enter order number. Click OK. Stop. If you want to observe the test data, insert wait statement. It is optional. Put base state and run the script. See 1, order number 1 executing, opened. Next, I want to open 1 to 5 orders. See for order number, any meaningful variable you can use, not only I. For order number equal to 1 to 5, step 1, increment 1. For one increment, step not required. One increment is default increment. Just a minute. One increment is default increment. If it is other than 1, use step. Pass order number as parameter. Next, end statement. Next, for next. Observe, run 1, 2. 3, 4, 5. See, this is example for loop statement. Not only for loop, you can use while, when, do loop also, that we will discuss in VB script chapter, VB script module. Next, checkpoint statements. See, checkpoint statements belongs to UFT. See, observe. See, we use UFT statements and VB script statements in our tests. Checkpoint statements belongs to UFT. Loop statements VB script. Conditional statements VB script. Action calls UFT. Next, function calls VB script. Next, automation object statements VB script. Next, test object statements are objects calls Sujata. UFT or VB script?
UFT, sir.
UFT only. See, UFT steps. Next, Kanti, utility statements.
UFT, sir. UFT.
Pardon?
UFT.
UFT only. See, utility objects are UFT reserved objects. Already we discussed. Next, declarations are the constants and variables. UFT or VB script?
VB script.
Good. VB script. Next, come to checkpoint statements. I will show one. You know what is checkpoint? It is a verification point. Takes expected result from the user, put mute, and compares with the actual result during execution and provides test result. Just a minute. Open an order and I want to insert checkpoint on tickets object, tickets field. Design checkpoint, standard checkpoint, show the tickets, click OK. I want to insert checkpoint on text property value. See, my expectation is 2 only, 2 tickets only. Okay, stop. See here, actual also 2, definitely it will pass. Run the script. Launch result window. See, current test run, passed. See, checkpoint, standard checkpoint tickets passed. Next, I am modifying this value in the application. Suppose tickets 2 to 7 update order. Observe Madhuri, if I execute this script, will it pass or fail? Will it pass or fail?
It will fail, sir.
Fail. See,
It will fail.
okay, we modified that value, but in a script our expected is 2 tickets. but in application 7 tickets. Definitely it will fail. Run the script. See, fail at time, it waits 10 seconds. That is default time of standard checkpoint. See, view menu, last run results. See, current test run failed. Expand all. See here, observe. Actual 7 in red color. Expected 2 in black color. Checkpoint status failed. Next, output value. Output value statements are steps. See, belongs to UFT only. UFT steps. See, output value. It captures output during execution and stores in a runtime data table. It captures output during execution and stores in a runtime data table. Open first order and capture customer name. Design output value, standard output value, show the object, click OK. I want to store this text property value, name, John Doe. OK. Stop recording, put base state and run the script. Executed. Launch result window. Here pass or fail is not the criteria. Here no verification point. That's why it is showing current run done. Just done status. Test executed without errors. No verification points. Just a minute. Data. Observe Sujata. Customer name captured na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See output value statements. Actually, this statement enough. Output checkpoint. See, for checkpoint statement also, this last statement enough. Remaining are normal test object statements. Next, VB script statements. Say conditional statements, loop statements, function calls, all are VB script statements only, but some specialized statements available in VB script. See, statements. See example, dim is VB script statement. Next, set. Earlier we used set for code optimization. Set is VB script statement. Next, option. Explicit is VB script statement. On error, resume next is VB script statement, etc. See one example.
Sir,
Ah,
sir, once. Const also VB script
yes,
statement, sir.
const also VB script statement. Dim,
Okay.
const, if, for, do, while, all are VB script statements only. But MSG box is not VB script statement. What is MSG box?
Utility object.
No, built-in function.
Oh,
Built-in function. Try to identify the keywords. Built-in function. Suppose dim A equal to 100 MSG box A. Observe, in this small example, I used two keywords. All are keywords. Some keywords belongs to UFT, some keywords belongs to VB script. We use UFT and VB script keywords in our test automation. UFT tool tag is advanced keyword driven testing. In this approach, keywords can be used for creating and executing tests. Utility object is UFT keyword. Test object is UFT keyword. Automation object is VB script keyword. Built-in function is VB script keyword. Say dim A. In this small example, we used two keywords. One is dim, another is MSG box. Dim is VB script statement. Const also VB script statement. But MSG box is VB script built-in function. It is function. Run. It will show 100. Next, suppose mistakenly I used another variable name. Say declaration time I used A, value assignment time I used A, but display time I used B mistakenly. Anyhow, VB script considers implicit variables. Means without declaration of variables also you can use variables. You can use them. Observe. Nothing. If you want to restrict implicit variables, use option explicit statement. This is also VB script statement. Option explicit. What is the functionality? It forces declaration of variables in a script. It forces declaration of all variables in a script. If we use any undefined variable, definitely it will show error. Then you can rectify the problem. So it is showing error. Variable is undefined B. Suppose if you rectify the problem, then it won't show any error. This option explicit also VB script statement. See, these are the maximum types of statements that we use in UFT test automation. Nearly 10 types we discussed. Tell me, Kanti, types of statements in UFT test or test script.
Declaration statements.
Declaration statements.
Utility statements. Test object statements. Conditional statements. Function calls and action calls. Automation statements.
Automation object statements belongs to VB script.
Checkpoint statements.
Output value statements. Next.
Output value is option explicit.
VB script statement. Option explicit is one of the example. Okay. Okay, na. Sujata, shall we move to next topic?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, small chapter completed, that is types of steps or statements in UFT. Next, come to mainstream. Already we discussed in creating, for creating basic tests. For creating basic tests, we have two methods available in UFT in high level orientation. One is object repository based test design. Another is descriptive programming. Again, in object repository based test design, we have two methods, two sub methods. One is recording, another is keyword driven methodology. We discussed both recording and without recording. Next, descriptive programming. Descriptive programming also two types: static programming, dynamic programming. See, descriptive programming, or you can say programmatic descriptions. Say this descriptive programming term is mass term. Most of the people using descriptive programming term, but HP never used this term in their documentation. They used programmatic description term, but no issue. You can use descriptive programming also. See, widely using term descriptive programming, but HP used another term, programmatic descriptions, in their tool documentation, UFT documentation. Programmatic descriptions. See, first, what is descriptive programming? What is descriptive programming? See, enter or provide objects information directly into statements or steps is called descriptive programming. See, enter or provide objects information in the sense properties, one or more, and values. For example, man is object. One of the property is name, value, some ABCD. Age is one property of man object. Age 25. 25 is value. Height is one of the property of man object. Suppose 6 feet. That is value. Okay. That is general object. Here software objects. Enter or provide objects information means properties and values directly into steps or statements is called descriptive programming. Say, for test object statements, two things important. One is object identification, another is operation on that object. operation on that object. Suppose dialog of login, suppose browser of Google dot close. Close is operation, browser of Google is object. Here remember test execution process in OR based test, object repository based test. Just compare. See, test run process. First, in case of object repository based test. In case of object repository based test. Next, test run process in case of descriptive programming based test. You know, test run process. Tell me, Sujata, we already discussed in record and run test chapter. What is test run process in case of OR based test, object repository based test, either recording or keyword driven methodology? During test execution, UFT read statements one by one. Statements, nothing but instructions. During test execution, UFT reads steps or statements one by one and gets objects information from object repository. Based on that information, performs operations on AUT. See, during test run or execution, UFT reads steps or statements one by one. During test run, UFT reads statements one by one and gets object information. Objects information from object repository. Object repository. Based on that information, UFT performs actions on AUT. Tell me, Madhuri, test run or test execution process in case of object repository based test?
During test run execution, UFT reads statements.
Test run execution. Run or execution. Both are synonyms.
Okay. UFT reads statements one by one and gets the information from the object repository. Based on that information, UFT performs actions on the AUT.
That is test run process in case of OR based test. Next, in case of DP, descriptive programming, say, just a minute. During test run or execution, UFT reads statements or steps one by one. Next, objects information also. Objects information also available, objects information also available in steps, available in the steps. Next, based on that information, UFT performs operations directly on AUT. UFT performs operations on or actions on AUT. Here find one difference. In case of OR, instructions nothing but steps, steps nothing but instructions. Instructions available in editor, objects information available in object repository. For every instruction it has to get object information from object repository. But in case of descriptive programming, both instruction as well as object information available in steps only. Then UFT performs actions directly on AUT. So final conclusion, tests. Tests based on descriptive programming are faster in execution than OR based tests. Why? What is the reason, Sujata?
Yes, sir.
See, my note is tests based on DP are faster in execution than OR based tests. Why? What is the reason?
Object repository based tests will require more memory.
No, that is not the concept. Can you tell me, Aarti?
Sorry, sir. What is the question, sir? Sorry.
Concentrate. Tests based on descriptive programming are faster in execution than object repository based tests. Why?
Because it used the VB script, whereas the object repository
Object repository based script syntax also VB script. See, remember, descriptive programming, so many people feeling descriptive programming belongs to VB script. No, UFT only recognizes objects. VB script doesn't recognize objects. If it is recorded script or descriptive programming, both are in VB script format only, but UFT only recognizes objects. VB script doesn't recognize objects. Madhuri, can you tell me this last one? Very simple.
Every time it has to go to object repository for identification, whereas
their information available. Yes. Their information available in two places. In case of OR, information available in two places. Instruction in tool editor, object information in object repository. For every statement, it has to get object information. But in descriptive programming, complete information available in steps only. Instruction and object information. So no need to fetch information from any other place. Just reading the statement and performing operation on AUT directly. That's why descriptive programming is faster in execution than OR based test. Okay, na Sujata, any confusion?
Sir. No, sir.
Okay, cool. See, we discussed what is descriptive programming Next, test run process, OR based test versus descriptive programming. Next, observe, earlier we discussed recording and keyword driven methodology. External look, external view point of view, no difference between recorded script and keyword driven methodology. Both are same. All statements are same. Utility statements same. Test object statements same. Other statements also same. But internal process vary. What is internal process? Internal process varies. Recorded script uses local repositories. Keyword driven methodology uses shared object repositories. But DP versus OR either recording or keyword driven methodology. Now DP versus OR based script. Here external look also different, external look different, and internal process also different. Here no object repository in DP. Internal process entire different. External look also different. See. Descriptive programming based test is different from OR based test. What is the difference? One is external view. External view is different. Next, internal process also different. Internal process. See, external look different. Internal process also different. Okay. What is external view? What is the difference? Utility statements different? No. Methods? No. Functions? No. VB script statements? No. Then what is the difference? Test object statements. See, test object statements only vary from OR based test and descriptive programming. See, remaining statements common. See, test object statements only vary from OR based test and descriptive programming. Okay, what is the difference? Got the point, Sujata? What is the difference? External view, utility statements. Any difference in utility statements?
No, sir.
What is the difference?
Only in the test object statements only.
Remaining all statements are common. Only test object statements. Then what is the difference? Observe. Suppose single test object statement. Single test object statement. Single test object statement. Take single test object statement. First OR based step. Next, descriptive programming. OR descriptive programming. See, a syntax of OR based test. Tell me, Kanti, syntax OR based test. Single test object statement.
Test object.
Test object. Test object.
Of object name.
Good. Of object name.
Dot function.
Function, not function. Method.
Method or operation.
Method or operation. Method or operation. Put note. Example. Dialog of login. Dialog is test object. Login is object name. Dot activate. Activate is method. Next, in case of DP. In case of DP. Syntax. Test object of property name colon equal to property value. Property value. Otherwise, you can say property colon equal to value. Dot method or operation. For example, say objects have multiple properties. Multiple properties. Example, text property, height, width, enabled, focused, visible, x coordinate, y coordinate, etc. But we use any one unique property. Suppose one property is not sufficient. Suppose one property is not sufficient for recognizing any object uniquely, then you can provide multiple properties information by separating with commas. Suppose man is object. Man is object. Name is one of the property. Suppose name ABC. Suppose name Sampath. Suppose we have two Sampaths in our class. That time name is not a unique property. That time we have to take one more property. Age, height, color, etc. See, most of the time single property enough, but you can provide multiple properties also if required. What is that syntax? Or here object spy is useful feature. Property one name, property one value, comma, property 2 name, property 2 value, comma, property 3 name, property 3 value. Like that you can provide multiple properties information. See example. Dialog of login. Dialog of here object spy is useful feature. Not only useful, object spy support is mandatory. Tools object spy, take hand icon, show the login dialog. Here observe properties and values. So many properties, 20 to 30 properties information. Here label is text property. Text value is login. This is unique. See text colon equal to login. No object repository. Object information also available in the step. Activate method. Next, if you want to provide multiple properties, comma, width colon equal to, comma, height colon equal to, like this. Just a minute. Tools menu, object spy, take hand icon, show the login dialog. Here height is 200 pixels, width 320. See 320 and 200. See, don't provide incorrect information. Suppose if you provide 10 properties information, 9 properties information correct, 1 property incorrect, it will show error. Tools can't judge. Human users can judge, but tools can't judge. Next, same way, if it is two test object statement, two test objects step or statement. First, in case of var object repository. Next, in case of DP, descriptive programming. Tell me, Sujata, in case of var, what is the syntax?
Test object of object name dot.
Just a minute. Syntax. Test object of
Object name dot
dot
child test object.
Good. Child test object.
Object name
Same object name
dot method or operation.
Good. Some methods have input data. Some methods require input data. Some methods plain methods. Dot method or operation. Next example. Dialog of login dot win button of OK dot click is plain method. Suppose another dialog of login, next win edit child object, win button also child, dot of agent name, dot set. Set method requires input data, value required, input value required, see A, B, C, D. Next, Kanti, in case of DP, two test object statement, syntax, Kanti, Madhuri,
Hello? Hello?
tell me.
Yes.
Okay, Kanti, you try to adjust your mic. You continue, Madhuri.
Test object.
Test object.
Test object, sir.
Uh,
Test object. Property one name.
yes, of. Okay, property name 1, 2, 3 like that. Property name colon equal to.
Colon equal to property one value.
Okay, property value. See, if it is multiple, then we use 1, 2, 3. If it is single property, just enough. Dot.
Yes, sir.
Mm,
Dot method.
child object. Two test objects. Child
Dot
test
child
object.
test object.
Of same child test object
Property name.
Dot method. See example. Dot win edit of generally for edit boxes we use attached text. How to select unique properties, that I will explain. Attached text colon equal to agent name colon, this colon part of the value, Kanti, problem from your side. You disconnect and connect again. Problem from your side, Kanti. Problem from your side. No other disturbance. Sujata, any disturbance?
No, sir. No, sir. No disturbance, sir.
No disturbance. You try to adjust your voice device. Okay, Kanti. Say dot set suppose A, B, C, D. Next, three test object statements also same. I think all of you familiar with descriptive programming syntax also. If it is three test object statement also same. Test object dot child test object dot sub child test object at end method or operation. For every test object statement should end with method. That is mandatory. Okay. See, I think all of you familiar with three concepts. One is what is descriptive programming? Another is test run process in case of descriptive programming. Test run process, OR based test versus descriptive programming. Next, test object statement syntax. Test object statement syntax. Okay, next important thing, how to get unique properties. See, how to select unique properties information, unique properties information for objects. See, this is the concept. How to select unique properties information. See, simple. Say, using object identification. See, this object identification configuration that we will discuss in UFT tool administration chapter. Now just I will show that one. Anyhow, that chapter takes nearly 1.5 hours. In that chapter I will discuss object identification configuration. Now just remember, using object identification configuration we can get unique properties information. Using object identification configuration say this UFT object identification configuration based on user interface design standards. Suppose for every button, suppose for every object, label required. Label means name of the object. Here observe, login is name of the dialog, agent name is label of the dialog, label of the edit box, password is label of the edit box, OK is label of the button, etc. See, this object identification configuration is, see, using object identification configuration we can get unique properties. Note, UFT object identification configuration, UFT object identification configuration based on UI design standards. You no need to remember UI design standards. Based on, just remember this concept, based on UI design standards. Here one problem. Suppose if our development team follows UI design standards, then using object identification configuration, the default configuration using UFT object identification default configuration, we can get unique properties information. Suppose if development team not follows UI design standards, at this point Aarti, here one condition is there. Say using object identification configuration, but here one condition also there. What is the condition? If
UI standard.
If the development team follows UI design standards. Suppose if the development team not follows UI design standards, then how you know? First you take unique properties information as per object identification. Suppose not working, that time change the property, perform dry runs, sample runs. Another scenario, this is one scenario using UFT object identification default configuration. If the development team follows UI design standards. Suppose second scenario, perform dry runs using properties one by one. Perform dry runs using properties one by one. Here, when if the development team not follows UI design standards. Observe, don't confuse, observe Sujata. Suppose for every button in Windows environment, we can choose text property value. Text is label. OK is text property value. That is industry standard. You try to use that one. Suppose it is not working. It is not working means developer not followed UI design standards. That time change the property. That time you cannot identify the unique property. Then how to get? Perform dry runs using properties one by one. You take one property, perform dry run. Dry run means sample run. If it is executing properly, then continue. Otherwise, change the property. Getting this point? Suppose
Yes.
one object is there. For this object, 10 properties information is there. A, B, C, D, like this. Suppose one object is there. For that object, we have 10 properties. But as per industry standard, C is the unique property. C is unique. As per this one, UFT default configuration. As per UFT default configuration, you can get that one. Suppose C is working fine, then no issue, you can continue. Suppose C is not working, that time what we have to do? You take A and perform dry run. If A is working, continue. Otherwise, change the property A to B. Suppose B is working, continue. Otherwise, change B to D, like that. Getting this point? Any confusion, Sujata?
No, sir.
Now tell me
confusions.
how to select appropriate properties information for recognizing objects uniquely.
Using object identification configuration.
Yes. Using object identification default configuration. Suppose another scenario, if development team not follows UI design standards, then perform dry runs. Take one property, execute once. If it is executing, then you can use that property. Otherwise, change the property, another property. Take another property and perform dry run. Like that, you can locate unique properties. Okay, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Aarti, any confusion, Aarti? For example, all of you familiar with descriptive programming syntax and how to select unique properties information. You take that scenario, login functionality in flight reservation application, write descriptive programming for login functionality in flight reservation application. Here you know the steps. First step, launch the application. That is utility statements. Utility statements common. If it is OR based test or descriptive program, utility statements common. Next, second step, activate the dialog box, test object statement. Next, enter agent name. Next, enter password. Next, click OK button. See, in this scenario, we work with 4 objects: login dialog box, agent name edit box, password edit box, and OK button. Login dialog, agent name edit box, password edit box, and OK button. Just a minute. Tools menu, object identification. Here select environment standard Windows, dialog. See here mandatory properties information. First priority is child window, next is owned window or native class, or you can use text property. See text, it is visible, login, it is unique, you can use. Next, win button. Here also some justification required. See, even though we use UFT default configuration, some justification is required. Observe Madhuri. Say for button object in Windows environment, what are the important properties? First priority mandatory, next priority assistive. What is the first one?
Text.
Text is first one. For this Windows button, text is first one or native class is first one? See, you are telling wrong answer and in silent mode. How can I continue? Say yes or no. Text is first property or native class? You tell me, Madhuri.
Native class, sir.
Native class is first one. Next,
Yes.
Next priority text. Next, last priority
Text
window
property.
ID. See,
Window
first
ID.
native class. See, this is as per UFT default configuration. Here also some justification required. Say, observe. Tools, object spy. See, in this dialog, 3 buttons available. Take and I can show the OK button. What is native class property value? Identify that yellow marking. Madhuri. What is native class property
Button,
value?
sir.
Button. Observe in the top, button is OK, but native class property value is just button. Next, show the cancel button. What is the native class property value?
Button, sir.
Button. Next, take show that help button. What is the native class property value?
It's button only.
See this
Button
native,
only.
can we use this native class property for this button in this Windows environment?
No, sir, we
No,
can't use.
it is not
No, sir.
unique. It is not unique. Okay.
Yes,
Next
sir.
priority text. Next priority text as per UFT default configuration. See, take hand icon, show the OK button. What is the text property value? Text property value.
Okay.
Okay. Next, show the
Okay.
cancel button. Show the cancel button. What is the text property value?
Cancel.
Cancel. Show the help button. What is the text property value?
Help.
It is unique now.
Yes, sir. It's unique.
Observe Sujata. Understanding this concept, Sujata?
Yes, sir.
Even though developers follow UI design standards, sometimes tester justification is required. See here, as per UFT default configuration, button in Windows environment, important property is native class. But in our scenario, native class is not unique. All three buttons having same value. Next, consider text property. Text property unique. For OK button, OK, cancel button, cancel, help button, help. Yes, you can use text property value for these objects. It may vary from one scenario to another. Just a minute. Observe in this flight reservation window, top left to bottom right, 10 buttons are there. First top left to top right, 6 buttons. Observe object spy. Anyhow, native class is not sufficient. Observe for first button, native class is button. For second button, native class is button. For fourth button, native class is button. Anyhow, native class is not suitable. It is not unique property. Next, text property. Earlier we used text property. Here observe, for this objects, for these 6 objects, no text property, no labels, text property blank. Next, second button, text property blank. Next, fourth button, text property, just a minute, blank. Here text property also not useful. Native class not unique. Here no text property value. Then consider next one. What is that one? Standard Windows Win button. Third, last priority, window ID. Window ID. See tools, object spy, take hand icon, show the first button. First button window ID is 6. Second button window ID is 5. Next, fourth button window ID is 2. This is unique. Understand the concept, Sujata?
Yes, sir. Window ID is unique.
In this scenario, window ID is unique for these buttons. Native class not unique. Text property no value, so we can't consider that one. Next priority, window ID. Okay, na? Here some
Okay.
justification required. Next, you take that one, this one, edit box. Edit box. See, resource, tools, object identification, environment standard windows, win edit. What is the first priority? Madhuri? For
Attached
edit,
text.
attached text. You take that one, just a minute. Tools, object spy, take hand icon, show the object. Here, what is the attached text value?
Agent name.
Agent name colon. Next, show the password edit box, another edit box. What is the attached text? Password. It is unique,
colon.
na?
Yes, sir.
It is unique. You can use it. It is unique. You can use. Next, one more thing. Object properties information. Properties information varies from one environment to another. Suppose in this scenario, edit box in Windows environment, we use attached text. Edit box, observe. See, user need to identify the unique properties information using object, using UFT default configuration and object spy. And one more thing, say unique properties information may vary from one environment to another. Environment to another. For example, button, edit box in Windows environment, standard Windows environment. We use attached text. Attached text. Suppose same edit box in web environment. Observe. See tools, object identification, select environment as web, edit box. Observe Aarti. Here no attached text na. Edit box in web environment.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Here you can take either HTML tag or name or type. See, first priority HTML tag. Next priority name. First justify. See tools menu. Objects by take and icon show the edit box. What is HTML tag value? Input. Next, show another edit box password. What is the HTML tag?
Password PSSW. Oh, sorry. Input. INPUT.
Input only. HTML tag input only. So it can't be used. It is not unique. Next, take second priority name. Suppose first email. Email. Name value is email. Next, show the password. Name value is passwd. It is unique. You can take name property. See, name. See, edit box in Windows environment. Attach text property. Next, edit box in web environment. Name property. Come to main. Write descriptive programming for login functionality. Say, I'm taking the new test. Open launch object repository. Blank. Only headings. Next, write system util.run. Next, path of the AUT. Next, dialog of login. For dialog boxes, you can use text property. Value login dot activate. Next, you can copy and paste. Dot win edit of. For edit boxes in Windows environment, we use attached text property. Attached text, not text. Colon equal to agent name. Colon. This colon is part of the value. Dot set. Next, within double quotes, value. Next, password also edit box. Password colon. See, observe. After this password, colon is there. Dot set secure. Next, encode the password. You know how to encode using password encoder tool. Password encoder tool. Mercury. Generate, copy, close. Paste. Next, last one. Dialog, this one. Win button of, see, for button in this scenario, we can use text property dot click. See, over. Launch object repository. No objects information. No objects information. Run. See, it is executing. See, executed. Suppose one property, if you feel one property information is not sufficient for recognizing any object uniquely, that time you can provide multiple properties by separating with commas. See, in this scenario, for all these 4 objects, single property information enough. Just understanding purpose, just assume for win button text property information not sufficient. You can provide multiple properties. See, tools, object spy, take hand icon, show the OK button, height 23 pixels, suppose width 60 pixels, comma, height colon equal to 23, comma, width colon equal to 60. See, like this you can provide multiple properties information. Put base state and run the script. See, executed. Just a minute. Next, write descriptive programming for login functionality in Gmail. Gmail. See, take new test. Say, in this Gmail login operation, we work with how many objects? Identify, Madhuri. Total how many objects? Login, launch Gmail homepage, enter email address.
3 objects.
Enter password, click sign in button. How many objects?
Enter password, click on sign in button.
How many objects total?
4 objects.
4 objects. What are the 4?
Browser, page, web edit, and sign in button.
2 edit boxes now. Total 5 objects.
Yeah, 5 objects.
Total 5 objects. See, if you want to get object hierarchy, tools, object spy, take hand icon, show this email. Here it is showing browser, page, edit box. See, edit box we already identified. Name is unique property. Next, button. button, web button. For button also you can use HTML tag or name. Just a minute. Tools, object spy, HTML tag input only. Suppose in this scenario only one button. Suppose if it is multiple buttons, it won't work. So better go for name sign in. See for this, just a minute. Five objects in this navigation. Five objects in this navigation. What are the five objects? First one, browser. Second one, page. Third one, four classes, five objects. Email, edit box. Next, password, edit box. Next, just a minute. Button, sign in button. Next, try to identify the unique properties. See for button, we already identified name property. Next, for edit box also name property. This is also edit box. Next, browser page. Observe tools, object identification, web. Any information, Sujata, for browser, mandatory and assistive?
No, sir. No information.
So, titles no guarantee. Titles no guarantee for browsers. Next, go to this smart identification. Last priority name or title, name of the browser or title of the browser. You can try with name of the browser or title of the browser. Here, better to use creation time. Here, ordinal identifier is there. It is only for browser object. It is only for browser object. You take other objects, suppose page, no creation time. Web button, no creation time. Web edit, put mute, no creation time. Select browser, creation time. Creation time means object loading time. Latest browser creation time is 0. See, you can use creation time as unique property for browser object. What about page? Page no guarantee, mandatory. Page titles may change dynamically. Next, smart identification properties. Last priority, use title, otherwise use URL. Just a minute. For browser, creation time, single word or multiple words. Tools, object identification, creation time, single word. Creation time property. Latest browser creation time is always 0. See, page, try with what is that one?
Title or URL set.
Title or URL. Title or URL. Just a minute. First, system util dot run. Take path of the browser. Just a minute. Mouse is not working. Path of the browser, comma URL, gmail.com. Next, browser of creation time colon equal to 0 dot page of title colon equal to just a minute. Tools, objects by take hand icon, show the page. Here page title is Gmail. Gmail dot web edit of name colon equal to email dot set email address. Next, you can copy and paste. Just a minute. Sometimes external name, internal names different. Take email name value email only, but password value passwd, passwd. Next, last one, web button name sign in operation click, operation set secure. Just a minute. Generate copy close. Next, put base state or run the script. Just a minute. Observe Madhuri. Launch login na.
Yes, sir, it's login.
See. See, this chapter not completed. We'll continue tomorrow, same time. Thank you.